Hey guys, this is AEgis, and I just played a ladder game where I messed up my probe sending to the minerals early in the game, and we have this player NBGXRARX saying that bleeping toss is stupidly OP, and I tell him good luck, have fun. I didn't even rally my probes because I was busy reading his crap. And he says bleep off scrub. And I give him a nice smiley face here. He is going to be playing as the Zerg player. I see this scout. Yeah, there is a drone scout coming in really early, and my probe that's coming up to the front to build that pylon does see it. So I'm like, what the heck is this? And at that point, I sort of know that there is a little bit of cheese oncoming, but I'm not sure what kind of cheese. Looks like I thought it was going to be a 6-pull, but it actually was not. Just looking at the production tab, I'm not making anything and he's not making anything. It looks like he went for a 10 pool and a 10 gas, and when I send my scout probe over there, I thought he went 6 pool 6 gas. I didn't really check the drones because I was busy trying to throw up my wall over here. Here's my forge coming up, and I'm gonna be throwing down a gateway. There's still a little bit of a gap, and I realized this later on, so I throw up another pylon over here to try to wall this off. And his 10 pool, 10 gas. This is more of a 2v2 build. I'm not sure what he's doing here, or some sort of multiplayer build. He is, I checked his ranking afterwards. He's diamond ranked in 1v1 ladder, and also diamond ranked in 3v3 ladder, so this might be a build he uses all the time in 3v3. We have my pylon now finishing up over here. Gateway, I'm severely oversupply for the 12 food that I do have. I thought my gateway was finished, but turns out it was not, so I decided to grab my gas first. Build order is completely messed up in this game. 4 Zerglings going to be popping out now. Looks like they will be coming over here, checking for any sort of pylon cheese. So he's actually doing a somewhat okay job of following this up, but he's not making any drones as of this point. He's got all of his drones rallied over to do nothing. He's got a drone checking his base just to make sure no cheese is coming. But I'm not exactly the kind of player that's known to do any sort of cheese. We have my cybernetics core on the way. He should have seen that I walled off completely. There's not really any chance that I could cheese him. There is a queen now on the way, now making a couple. He has made a couple more drones, and he does have his Zerglings up at the front, kind of nibbling away over here. I've rallied my Zealot to the outside, deciding to throw up a cannon as well. Looks like they will break down my wall. Gonna be killing off a couple of Zerglings with my Zealot here. Looks like only one injured, no, 2 Zerglings do make it inside of my base. They will check everything out over here. I'm going to throw up a pylon. I actually placed a probe over here just in case he was going for some sort of absurdly fast, what are those things called? Tunneling worm things? Whatever the heck that thing is called with a fast lair. I can't even remember what it's called. Let's take a look over here. Nidus network. So just in case he went for a fast one of those, I could see the Overlord over here and get the probes in position to pick off any sort of Nidus network. But it looks like he's going for a spine crawler in his main. This is really messed up. I don't know what he's doing right now. I've walled myself in. He's seen everything. He knows that warp gate is nowhere near done, and yet he's throwing up a spine crawler. He's got his natural expansion coming up, and he's making a... Yeah, he's not making that much. I've got my Zealot wall. I'm sort of stabilizing a little bit. I have my 2 gas mining. Still not as many probes as I usually do at the 5-minute mark. Usually at the 5-minute mark, I like to expand. There's a gateway coming up for me, and I'm looking to get another gateway before I get some sentries and then expand. We've got the Zerg player going to be sending a couple of Zerglings over here, going to be checking everything out, and both of us doing a similar APM. Looks like the Zerglings will be backing up here, And still not much going on over here. He does finish his natural expansion, which I do see with my probe, deciding to check if he's going for some sort of all-in cheese, which would cause me to delay my expansion a little bit more and possibly throw down a second cannon. But I do see the expansion. Gonna go ahead and pull my probe back and let these two Zerglings run into my defenses over here. Both the Zerglings do get killed off. And metabolic boost is on the way, as well as there's an Evo chamber. So I'm not sure what the heck he's trying to do right now. He's got his natural expansion very, very, very late. This is not usually what a Zerg player wants to do. He's not mining the gas either, and he's making a spore crawler. So I have no idea what he's trying to do right now. He's got two spore crawlers on the way. He's got a spore crawler up at the front as well. I'm getting my +1 ground weapons, so this is putting him really far behind. No wonder when I killed him, I was like, where's his stuff? And so going for the two spore crawlers is going to make him safe from Dark Templar and sort of Void Rays. But I don't have any sort of that kind of tech out on the field right now. In fact, I'm going to be expanding here in just a second, throwing down a pylon at the front, and my natural expansion going to be popping up right now. Chrono Boost going down on the weapons level 1. And these Zerglings are going to be poking forth. Looks like, no, they're going to take a break over here. And our Zerg player making a spine crawler again. So yeah, I'm not sure what he's so worried about. Everything I've made is so delayed. Does he know about my expansion? No, he does not. His Zerglings are not very active out on this map right now. And I'm playing kind of bad also, but I'm not very good at this anyways. And we've got a Zergling checking all over the place over here, just not checking my base over here. Just going to be getting 2 additional gateways up at my front. And now our Zerg player finally making some drones like a normal Zerg player, and he's also throwing up his Roach Warren. This is a really late Roach Warren at 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Of course, his initial build order did mess him up a lot. We do have the Zerglings now nibbling on the back rocks. He may be deciding to grab this third base over here, or perhaps put on some pressure through the backside, breaking down these double rocks over here. Gonna be able to put on some pressure into my natural expansion, possibly run by and do some damage to the probe line, which has not really materialized yet. I should be transferring some probes. Yeah, there we go. There's a probe transfer right now, and the Roach Warren is now complete, as well as the lair on the way, grabbing additional gas at the natural and the main. He's getting a lot of gas right now. He's getting his lair, so perhaps going to be going for some Mutalisks, seeing that he's stirring up some spine crawlers here. And a couple of roaches on the way, just in case I do decide to push. But then again, he doesn't really know what I have, so I'm not sure what's causing him to throw up so many defenses here. Because I'm mainly sentries here. There's just like 1 Zella and 1 Stalker, now 2 Stalkers. And I do have my 6 gates out. I am going for the 6 gate push here with a +1 armor. And there are my gateways opening up. And right before I push, I think I decide to throw down this gas over here so I can get some additional Stalkers out onto the field during the push. And I'm getting a couple of Stalkers over here. It looks like the Zerg player has broken down the back rocks over here. A couple of Roaches are going to be joining this as well. I'm still chrono boosting a couple of probes out. Just want to make sure I get enough probe saturation before I move out so I can warp into units continuously. And there's the back rocks going down. Looks like he will be going for a lot of pressure over here. But there's just a few Zerglings and a couple of Roaches. And against this high sentry count, it's going to be really hard to break in. More Roaches going to be joining this battle in just a second. Our Zerg player is banking quite a bit of money for his push, so he needs to turn that into units. There it is. He's banking a lot of gas because he's unable to spend that on any sort of tech. A Zergling does poke in here and see everything that's going on. I noticed that the back rocks must have been open, so I decided to come up here, and a couple of force fields go down. Going to be walling off half of the Roaches over there. And the Roaches are going to be coming forth, and the force fields do trap the Roaches here, and all of the Roaches do get cleaned up. The sentries are throwing up the Guardian Shield as well, making sure the units take less damage. The Zealots finally getting up front. I should have put those guys in the front to begin with. Finally, the Roaches getting cleaned up, and more units being rallied forth for Roar. His roar is not very loud in this game. All he's done is complain about imbalance. So we've got my Guardian Shield going down, a couple more Force Fields. Going to be cleaning up a bunch of roaches here and should be reinforcing this. I don't want to lose too many sentries, so I decide to back up and wait and get into position with those reinforcing Stalkers. Azella also joining here, and there's just 3 Spine Crawlers left over here. Only 2 of them are firing as of this moment. The Roaches also going to get Force Fielded off. A bunch of Force Fields going down. Going to trap that Roach. Cleaning up the Spine Crawlers as well. I'm going to be warping in, and some additional units should be getting a couple of Stalkers in here as well. Looks like the remaining Roaches are getting cleaned up. Stupidly OP, says Rar, when clearly it's actually his build order that had some major issues. The drone's getting pulled off the line here, and I'm telling him that he's the one that opened kind of weird. It looks like I'm not controlling my Stalkers very well either, but this game does go to me, as expected, and just showing you a little bit of what goes wrong if you use Strange Opening, and it does get scouted, and also you do want to hide that drone if you're scouting that early. Try to prevent that drone from being seen, so that we don't get any sort of this wall-in business that you can't deal with. Also, I did pause my pro production at the beginning to hold this off. I usually don't do too well against rushes, but this guy had it, I guess he had it coming. So this is AEgis, signing off.